Welcome back to Hobson Hay and Cattle. Today we're out here cutting hay. As y'all can see behind me here, got the Kubota M6-131 hooked to the new Kuhn GMD310. This will be the first hay we've cut with it. This here's what we're cutting. It's not bad. It's probably 10 inches deep or so. Not real thick, but it'll be 3 or 4 rolls to the acre. Most of this field still got a lot of ryegrass in it, and that stuff's waist deep. I'm on my fourth round now. Hope I was over there cutting with the chrome cutter and the 4707. We'll get up in the tractor and get after it. We'll get her wound back up here now. Doing good so far. When I first started, I was getting my height set on how low it's cut and the height. Well, I made a round or two, and I said I'm gonna get out and check it, make sure it's still cut like I want it to be. Well, I made one round and I started on the second round. Got out and I smelled, well, I didn't smell, I smelled something, kind of smelled hot, and I looked at the belt cover on it, and that little pulley had been rubbing that cover, and then it started getting that cover hot. So I took the cover off and everything was lined up on it. It wasn't running, the belts wasn't running crooked or anything, like the bearing or something may have been out in that pulley. Going for a while now. It's 2:30, it's 2:40 now. It's been going since about 8 o'clock. Everything's going pretty good. Hay cutters are working good. Some of these ant mounds are sticky, and they keep sticking to the bottom of them hay cutter bars. Start leaving a strip. We have to get off, knock the mud off of them and get after it again. That red clay will stick to the bottom of them bars, kind of like black land does. That's what it's doing now, or what they've been doing. It's doing good right now. This field here ain't doing it. It's going pretty good though. It feels like it's going slow because the ground's kind of rough. You can't run very fast. I can run faster than I was running another day, cutting and belling that other field. But I pumping up to 5, but it gets pretty rough. Recommends a minimum of 68 PTO horsepower to run that run that cutter. But that cutter is lighter than these Kuhn cutters are. And those Chromes have 2 big springs to float the cutter bar, whereas these Kuhns just have 1 spring. Well, those Chromes have a lot less ground pressure than these Kuhns do, so that makes them easier to drag too. I want to show y'all what I mean about this stuff taking up on these bars, making them lever strip. Gotta try to hold the tarp up. Y'all can see that right there. See how it's gummed up between them skids? But what that does is it pushes the hay down before the cutter bar gets to it. I know the camera's kind of shaky. And what that does is it starts riding the hay down before the hay cutter gets to it. I'm trying to hold the tarp up and the camera and move down the hill. But I just take my foot and kick it off. What it is, I picked it up off the ground, well then it won't fold up. The tarp hits the tire. But this is what it does whenever that starts getting in front of it. Y'all see there, this is cut and this ain't. And this is cut. That's what it starts doing when it starts getting that stuff in front of it. Y'all can see where maybe the left strip right back there. You just have to get off and clean it off and get after it again. But it's not just this hay cutter doing it, that Chrome's doing it just as bad. So they're both doing it. But we'll get back in here and get after it again. Back at it again. I had to get off and clean some of that mud off of the bar. Leaving hay again. It ain't mud, it's just them ant mounds are sticky because the ground does have a lot of moisture in it. It ain't muddy or nothing, but it does have a lot of moisture in it. All that. So the ant mound is sticking to that bar. But back to what I was saying about the Chrome cutter is, even though it says the Chrome specs are minimum of 68 PTO horsepower per run. Oh crap, it's doing it again. Sometimes you can back up in that long hay and it'll drag it off. Back out where you done cut. Yep, it just come off. I seen it. But that Chrome, it's lighter, and it's got 2 big flotation springs to float the cutter bar. Whereas these Kuhns just have one big spring, so they don't float as much as well, they float just as much, but they have a lot more drag on them. There's a lot more weight on the end of that cutter bar. Whereas with that chrome, having 2 springs, it's got a lot less pressure on the end of the hay cutter, the end of the bar out there. You can pick the end of that bar up on that chrome cutter with it laying on the ground. That's how little of pressure's on the end of that bar. When you have that little of pressure on that bar, it makes it a lot easier to drag across the ground. So even though that chrome is rated for a minimum of more horsepower than this cutter is rated for, still with that chrome being lighter, it pulls a lot easier than these cutters do. And it's a lot easier on that Massey Ferguson to pull. And yes, the Massey Ferguson's pulled these 10-foot cutters, and it pulls them fine. You work until you work it. You can just tell you're working it ever. Whereas that chrome, you don't even feel like you're hardly working it. To me, you don't. And yes, it's stuck to it again. That's why I'm keep backing up. They weren't this bad last year when we cut first cut, and it was wetter when we cut this last time than it is now. That really slows you down a lot when you keep having to get off and knock that crap off. been cut since about 8 o'clock this morning. Maybe a little bit earlier. We started with one cutter earlier than that. We didn't have both of them going by then, or any earlier than 8. got about an hour and a half left in that other one. That other one's a little bit smoother, so I should be able to roll on in it. Get that field cut, we'll be cut about 50 acres today. Which that mud keeps, that them ant mounds keep caking up on them cutters. That slows us down a lot. They've been doing good in this field though. I've only had to, I think I've only had to stop once or twice. This field here is about, I think it's around 15 acres, 18 acres. I think it's around 15, 10 or 15.